the recording. So now let us move to question number 7. So question number 7, it reads as follows: measurements. The diagram below shows a drinking glass with an inner diameter of 50 millimeters and a height of h. Ignore the thickness of the glass. So the volume of the glass is given to be 250 cubic centimeters. Calculate the height of the glass for only 3 marks. So you are given the magnitude of volume. In this case, they want you to determine the height. First thing first, before we can even talk about the units, let us talk about the formula on how to calculate the volume so that we can see if the formula to calculate the volume, it has height or not. So the formula that we use is V. Apparently, you need to know these formulas, guys. There is no other way. And you see, they're not going to give you, even on the formula sheet, it's not going to be provided. So when it comes to measurements, make sure that you familiarize yourself with this formula. So V is equals to pi r squared multiplied by h. This is formula that we use to calculate the volume of a cylinder. The glass is cylindrical in shape. Ne? That's very important. So we want to calculate height. That means this formula, it has height, which is what we want. It has radius, which is what is provided. But you can see that here we are not provided with the radius. Rather, we are provided with a diameter. So we're going to convert diameter into radius. And then volume, it is provided to be 250. So again, the other thing is we can calculate the diameter. But be careful, the radius, be careful of your units. Here it's cubic centimeters, and in here it's millimeters. So I can easily convert this millimeters into centimeters, and then I'll be good to go. So remember, if you forgot how to convert in exam, the hint that I can give you, I don't know what method or strategy you use, but the one that I use, it's called King Henry died miserable death called malaria, right? But the last M, because you can confuse these two M's, I do not call it malaria. I say King Henry died a miserable death called malaria. So that you can remember here it's double M. We don't confuse with this M. Ne? So now this is what is happening. We want to convert from the millimeters to the centimeters. So we're going to have to move back. We're going to hop only once. So when you move forward, you multiply by 10. When you move backward, you divide by 10. So if this was squared, like centimeter squared, meter squared, it's 100, 100. You add a 0 there. If it was cubed to the power of 3 to the power of 3, you add another 0. It's going to be 1,000, 1,000, okay? Just so maybe in case in future, if you want to convert, know how it works. So we have to convert from the millimeters to the centimeters. So that means it's power 1 to the power of 1, it's 10. We're going to divide by 10. So that means we have our diameter, which is given to be 50 millimeters. So because I want to convert it into decimeter, I'm going to have to divide by 110, which is only 1. I hope only once, it's 10. So 50 divided by 10, it is most definitely going to be how much? I think, oh, what did I do now? 50 divided by 10 is going to be how much? 5. It's going to be 5. Yes, it's going to be 5 centimeters. But remember, this is a diameter. So radius, it is the half of diameter. In this case, half multiplied by 5 centimeters. And then I'm going to get 2,5 centimeters. Therefore, this will be my radius. Now, to answer the very same question, which is 7.1, to calculate height, I'm going to say V is equals to pi r squared multiplied by h, and then the volume it's given to be 250 cubic centimeters, which is equals to pi, and then my r in this case it is 2,5 centimeters squared, and then my height is what I'm looking for, and then I'm going to divide both sides by pi to the power of 2,5 squared, and this side I'm going to divide by pi 2,5 squared. Therefore, my h to 2 decimal places will be how much? Let's have a look. I'm going to say 250 divided by shift pi 2,5 to the power of 2, and then to 2 decimal places, or we're told, yeah, we're not told. So 12,7 centimeters. This will be the height in centimeters of the glass. Ne? This will be 7.1. 7.2. Water is now poured into the glass until it is 75% full. If water was here today, this was going to be 100% full, but they say it's going to attain this height over here. It's going to attain this height. I'll call it H1 because this is H. So that means this height over here, it will be 65% filled of water, right? So now calculate the total surface area covered by the water. We want the surface area covered by the water. So when we want to calculate the surface area, we use the area. We're going to use area of the circle and then the area of this part over here. I mean, like when you take your cylinder, your cylinder, it's something that looks like this, right? Here we have the base. Let me draw it properly. Cylinder is something that looks like this, right? Here we have the base and then here we have the height. So this cycle, obvious, at the top, it is open, right? It is open. So that means we're going to have this part. I'm stretching this part over here. I'm stretching this part, okay? And then here we're going to have circle, which is the base of the glass. Here it is open, we don't have circle. So that means I'm gonna unwind or unfold this part to look like this, and then the circle. So the surface area, it is the area of the circle and the area of this shape. So the surface area of the whole thing, to calculate the total surface area of this part, remember, we want from here to here. Remember, there it's 100% full, but here it's 65% full. So we're gonna utilize this height over here. So that means if you want to determine the surface area, total surface area of the whole cylinder, we're gonna say pi multiplied by r. What is this pi? It is the area of this circle, okay? It is the area of the circle. If this was closed, if here we had another circle, we're gonna say 2 pi r. Remember, pi r squared, it is the area of the circle, which is this circle, pi r squared, the area of the circle, plus the area of this shape over here, plus the area of this shape over here. So what is that area of that shape? We're going to say it's 2 pi r h, okay? And then you need to be careful. You need to calculate the total surface area of the total surface area covered by the water. That means from here to here. So the height that we're going to use over here, it is not this height that we calculated at the initial. We want this height, which is h1. I'm going to call it h1. So that means surface area is going to be equals to pi r squared plus 2 pi r h1, not this height because it's 100%. The water is not there. So how are we going to determine this height to start with? So to determine height h1, they said that means this is what is happening. We're going to take 65, the height, this one, h1, is going to be 65% of h, which is the initial height that we got. So that means 65% plus this percentage, we're going to get 100%. So h1, which is this height from here to here, we're going to take it 65% of the original height. So 65%, which is 65 divided by 100, it's going to be 0.65, right? Multiply by of h1. We said that the height of h1, it was 12.73 centimeters. It was 12.73 centimeters. So that means h1, which is this height in this case, it's going to be equals to how much? You're going to say 0.65 multiplied by 12.73. It's going to be 8.2745 centimeters. This is not our final answer, so it's not necessary for you to convert it to 2 decimal places. So this is our h1. Now let us determine surface area then. We said surface area will be equals to how much? Pi, and the radius, remember, we have determined that the radius is 2, I think 2.5. yes, 2,5. We said the radius, because it is still the same beaker, the radius, it will be 2,5 centimeters squared plus 2 pi, and then radius again, it's 2,5, and then h, which is h1, in this case we say it's 8,2745 centimeters. And then you just punch everything on your calculator. So you're going to say shift pi multiply by 2,5 to the power of 2 plus 2 shift pi, what did I do, plus 2 shift pi multiply by 2,5 multiply by 8,2745, and therefore our final answer in this case to 2 decimal place will be 149,61. It's squared, okay? You should be careful of your units. It's going to be centimeter squared. Area, we know it's squared. Volume, it's cube. It's to the power of 3 volume, and therefore this will most definitely be your final answer.